Hello, I'm Mario, and this is the second video in a series where I'm installing my Haloview cameras on my Geo Pro travel trailer. And in this series, I'd like to also, in later videos, include subjects that maybe have to do with other video cameras, like maybe a surveillance video camera or something along those lines. But nonetheless, this video specifically today is going to be about the side marker lights. So in the front half of my Geo Pro travel trailer, I have some amber marker lights, one on each side. And what I want to do is install this Haloview product that has a camera attached to the marker light. And then when I turn on my left turn signal, theoretically the left camera should turn on and display an image on the monitor that will be inside my Chevy Colorado. So that's the overall picture of what's going on with today's video. Is yes, we're going to hardwire these cameras to my travel trailer, mount them to the side of the travel trailer, and then test them. And then the first thing I want to do is go ahead and take a look at this wiring here, see what I got on the camera itself, and maybe prep this out so that I can attach these permanently to the wiring on my Geo Pro travel trailer. And then so there's a left hand and a right hand turn signal marker lamp sort of setup, because basically you want to make sure that your camera is facing to the rear of the vehicle. I think what I'm going to do is swap these out. They're labeled on the, so they're labeled here, like this one has an R for right hand, and then the antenna would be pointing up. I think I want the antenna pointing downwards because I don't have space on the right hand side to have an antenna pointing up. So I'm going to swap them out, and then hopefully I can reprogram the monitor for which one's left and which one's right hand. And then so as I'm looking at this here, what we have are essentially, we got 4 wires, 2 wires dedicated for the lamp, and then 1 wire dedicated for the camera. At least that's what it looks like to me. And so they have them kind of labeled, one side, you know, labeled in 2 sections. Got a hot and a ground. So this one has a voltage variance of 12 to 24 volts, and then this is your ground right here. So what I want to do to prep these out is go ahead and put a non-insulated butt-end connector on these wires here, so that I have a terminal ready to go to connect to the travel trailer. And so this is what I mean by prepping out the camera and getting things situated. So I just want to get a butt-end connector here. I have this non-insulated connector terminated, and both wires, 1 lead for the camera and 1 lead for the lamp, are in this one terminal here. And so I'll just have that all ready for the RV, and I just need to do it to this one too. And it's nice, the Haloview, they provided some heat shrink tubing, but I'm having trouble sliding it over the cable. But at any rate, nice thought, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to use that. So but I will use it to hold the wire kind of in position of where I need it, and then get things kind of ready to terminate. So I'll get this ready so that the dimple doesn't go on the seam, and then I'll be able to ID where the dimple is when I'm up against the vehicle trying to crimp it. So I think this is ready. Might as well take a peek inside, see what it looks like. Okay, looks like I got 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, so I can put screws in there. And they do provide hardware, but these are kind of thin or small. I guess we'll see what happens when we take the other one apart. So I got the passenger side one, or at least the one I'm going to put on the passenger side. I got it prepped and ready to install in the side of my trailer here. But what I need to do is go ahead and take a peek and see what we have in here as far as wiring and that sort of stuff. So I think I'll just go ahead and pry this up, and I notice there's some sealant on the top. So I'm just going to kind of pry away and see. I'm looking at it and it doesn't really behave like silicone, but I can see 2 screws. So I'm just going to start by taking these out. My Phillips head, number 2 Phillips. Let's see what we got. If I can just pry maybe from the bottom. Man, that is tight. All right. Yeah, I don't know what they use to, it's like, stuff's like glue. And I got that off. And then, yeah, 2 wires, so it looks like a hot and a positive. So, just gotta try to wiggle that out. All right, there's the connectors there. And I was kind of expecting to see additional wires, like, so this looks like the end of the line. So sometimes there might be like multiple sets of wires. In this case, there's only 2 wires coming out of the trailer. But if this was part of a larger circuit, then you would see another set of wires going back in. Well, I don't have any power to the lights, so I'm just going to cut these connectors off. Yikes! I almost lost that in there. Wow. Okay, I need tape. I got 2 wires exposed here, and I just got to figure out which one's positive and which one's negative. I just need to get some power going to those lamps, so I'll go ahead and do that here. Markers are on, so I should see power to that wire. All right, so I just got my multimeter here, and so I got negative 13.5, so that would indicate that this solid white is ground. Let's see here. Yeah, so this green stripe, that's my positive, and the white is ground. Well, now I just got to contend with this glue stuff here, whatever this glue is. It's not silicone, there's no way. And I guess that kind of explains why that stuff had a reaction to the rubber seal on the back of the trailer, because that rubber was deteriorating. So there must be some sort of oil base in this adhesive here. So at any rate, let's see if we can get it off. I'm going to start with the heat gun. All right, that's enough heat for sure. I think we got most of it off, and then I'll just come in with some acetone. Acetone worked on the back, so I'm going to do it again here. Acetone and follow up with some alcohol. And just come in with some alcohol here and just kind of clean off that residue, because I don't want the acetone staying on the surface. So try to get that off. And if you're worried about your finish, you really shouldn't even really be using paper towels. Paper towels can even scratch finishes, so just be conscious of that. So the other thing I'm dealing with here is I have 2 screws, but there's 4 holes in different places. The holes aren't going to line up with the new light and new camera. So I'll get ready with a pilot hole and some silicone, and so that means drilling and whatnot. But I want to get ready for also making sure that it's get a layout and make sure it's level. So I'm just going to mark center of the hole generally, and then I'm going to try to figure out what is level. So I can use this level and determine what level is, but I want to understand what level is relative to how the trailer is positioned. So let's see, maybe so when I look at this trim line here, and I also look at this trim piece down here, it indicates that the front's a little bit high. So I'm going to use those two references and then kind of tilt the nose of my level up the same degree, or as best I can. I'm probably going to end up covering the tape a little bit, so I have 3 lines here, and then I just want to, yeah, I'm probably going to cover it a lot, so that layout will work just fine. And I'm going to start by drilling one hole as a reference. I'm going to go ahead and cover up these holes with some silicone. Those are the old screw holes. I got 2 of these screws provided by Haloview, and then I'm going to reuse the deck screws that Geo Pro provided with the original light. So a total of 4 fasteners. So I think I'm ready to crimp this on. I just got to put some heat shrink tubing over the whole system and get things ready. So I'm going to line up my dimple so I don't get on top of the seam, and I'm on the ground here. Give that the tug test. I like it. I'm going to do the same with the hot lead. Get my dimple lined up. All right, I got the shrink tubing lined up and kind of overlapping the shrink tubing that Haloview. So I'm gonna put the larger deck screws towards the heavy side. There are 2 holes by the camera, so I'm gonna put those there, and then the screws that Haloview provided, the smaller screws, I'll put those on the other end. So I'll just kind of get the screw started so it pokes out a little bit, find my original pilot hole, and then kind of just get it kind of set in there. Now I'm going to find my best guess for where level is and drill. And that one's snug, so is that one. Okay, that's on there. Then to avoid water getting back behind, I'm just going to go ahead and run a bead along the top. And then I make sure I get an extra dab around that hole. And then just kind of come down the side a little bit and then close it off. So nice ugly bead I like it. One item that I didn't have when I was doing the install on the rear camera was some silicone, and so I had to go to the store and get some, and now I'm going to go ahead and take care of that today. And what I want to do is just run some silicone here along the top, and it doesn't have to be perfect or very pretty, but also I'm going to remove one screw at a time and insert some silicone there, because that's definitely a possibility for intrusion. So I think what I'll do is I'll just start with the screws, and I'm going to just do one screw at a time. And the idea is just to get some silicone in the area and also on the tip of the screw. So maybe I can get some extra space. I don't want to move this lens too far because of the sealant that's on top. Maybe I can get a little bit of room in there. And I'll just push that closed. Alright, I think that'll do it. Alright, well, I got the lights on. I turned the lights on the trailer, and I'm looking at the rear light. It seems like the original lights that came with the Geo Pro travel trailer aren't as bright as these. These newer ones, they got 3 LEDs. And the number of LEDs don't really matter, but yeah, it seems brighter. And yeah, I got the other one mounted too, so everything's ready to test. All right, well, I'm contending with the sun in here. Oh well, life's rough. But got the monitor plugged in. I just need to get the power going here. So there's a little button here, but that's already on. I'm gonna hit the power button on the monitor. Okay, cam 3. Okay, so that's the rear camera. Cam 4 is supposed to be the rear camera, but anyway, I used the porch camera to physically mount in the back of the trailer. Okay, so that should be, okay, so this is like split view, I guess. And there they are, there's the 2 side views. So that's awesome. I see a lot of trailer, so that's interesting. But it seems level enough. It looks like I can see the back bumper, so that's good. I like it. I just need to maybe move them out a little bit. And then, yeah, there's one of the cameras there. I installed them, I tested them. This video was about the side cameras. And so there'll be other videos, like I mentioned, in this series. And you know what would be really cool if I mounted a camera also in the truck, at least one camera. So I don't know exactly how all that's gonna happen, but yeah, should be more videos. I wanna do more video cameras, and also, I mean, we're gonna need to set up the monitor, find a place to mount it in the Colorado, and maybe figure out what's going on with the triggers to maybe associate it. Maybe I need another like panel, a panel of rocker switches or something, so I can actually switch the views. I don't know. We'll have to test all that stuff out. So I'll wrap it up for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope it was helpful, and tune in for the next video. Take care.